Yeah, Kelsey's good. Just when she went down, I stroked out a little bit, and so just made the decision right then. She's going to get ready for Sunday.
And I wanted to ask about the defense as well. Obviously, second and third, you gave up 30 points each quarter. I know defense has been a big thing for you. Just how did you think your backups especially just reacted, especially in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they did a great job. I'm really proud of our great team. I mean, we compete every day. They compete in every drill against the blue team. That second and third quarter, 30 points, just way too many. We were letting their ball screens. We weren't able to keep them in front of us. They were getting feet in the paint on us, kicking out. They were hitting threes early. We needed to clean that up. But again, just can't say enough about them. The great team out there tonight that did a great job.
Hi, Coach. The Indiana Fever team has been transformative. I know you guys still have the playoffs, but as you reflect on the season so far, just what are you most proud of, and where do you see there's still room for improvement?
Most proud of the resiliency that our players showed. You know, starting 1-8, and then to have clinched a playoff spot with 7 games remaining. If you'd have told me that was going to happen, I would have never believed you. So just really proud of their growth, their resiliency. They went to work. They got better. We didn't have the time early, but they just kept getting better as the season progressed. And then we had the All-Star break and had some great opportunity to really be able to focus on some things. But I can't talk enough about what these guys have gone through this season and the resiliency they've shown. They deserve this opportunity to play in these playoffs, and just really proud of them for that.
Thank you.
So this is our first chance to kind of actually ask you about the matchup. Connecticut. You beat them a few weeks ago. You know them well. You played them the first game of the season. It's kind of a nice little bookend here. Early initial thoughts about this matchup.
These guys know how to take it to that next level. They've played for championships. They're a playoff veteran team. They know what it means when the playoffs come, that it's going to be a next level, and you've got to get to that. I remember my first pregame speech, I think it was May 21st or whatever that was when we played them. Their toughness and their physicality is what we had to be able to handle. We didn't do it that first time. And I think we're better now with understanding what that's going to feel like. They're going to be tough. I mean, they know what it takes to play and to win in the playoffs. But we're not the team that we were early, and we've been able to just keep getting better. And we're looking forward on Sunday to giving Connecticut a good run, and it should be a really good game.
Stand back there.
How you doing, Coach? Harping on the questions that we've asked about your team's performance the second half of the season, how does it feel to finally see this transition of rebuilding and finally, getting to the playoffs now and seeing all that hard work play off in the development of different players over the years?
Yeah, the year before last, they had won 5 games. And the year before that, they had only won 6, right? So when I took the job, I knew, our goal was 13, 14, 15 wins. We thought if we could get there, that would be just a baseline for where we needed to go. To get 20 wins this season, I mean, my goal was 18. That's kind of where I thought we would land. But you know what? These guys bought in. Worked extremely hard, picked up that 20th win, 6th seed. I mean, they were 12th for several years, and then we made it. We were that 10th seed last year, and 1-8, man, 1-8, and then to clinch with 7 games remaining. There was times I was trying to figure out how to play the rest of the season because we haven't been in that. And I had no starters who's ever played in a playoff game. Not one. I've got 4 in the locker room who've had played minutes in playoffs, but we're trying to figure out what they needed. We're just trying to figure out what they need, so Sunday we're ready to go.
Stand back. We know that Caitlin likes to play a lot. How much did she bug you to go back in the game tonight?
It's funny. I was asked that question out in the hallway, and she knew the expectation, and I kind of let her know exactly about how many minutes she had left, just because had I not, I would have been listening to her. She'd have been ready to go back in. I love that about her, though. Isn't that what you love about her? She is just a fierce competitor, and that's what makes her special.
Stay in the front row on the left.
Coach, you've talked a lot about that 1-8 start and how you've been able to turn the season around. And I know during that time frame, there's a lot of questions about the chemistry of the team. So now that you've had a chance to reflect and go through a whole season and find success with this team, how would you say the chemistry of the players have grown together, both on and off the basketball court?
Did you see the bench tonight at the end of that game with that great team in? That is that was, even though we did not come away with this win, just the excitement that group had for that great team that was out there. People wanted us to win now, right when the season started. And if you've been around the game, and this league is the best in the world, and these teams are tough, and it takes time. So they needed to learn each other. And we really focused on that, especially during the All-Star break, with just even off the court. That was huge for us. And now, they've built this relationship, this chemistry. You throw a group of 12 women in a room together, it's not always going to be perfect, right? It's still not perfect, but these guys they're pulling for each other. And that was just so proud. We had 2 great shots at the end to win that game. And that would have been the icing on the cake, but still, just the comeback that those guys had. Kristy Wallace, Katie Lou, both those guys are going to get minutes, and they need to be ready for the playoffs. And we need them, and I thought tonight really helped them be ready for those minutes that they're going to get.
Got a few on Zoom. Mike Vopel will start, then we'll go to Matt next.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach, on this season and what you guys are going to be doing going forward. I wanted to ask again about Kelsey. You've talked a lot about her and what this season has meant to her. Now she's really going to get her first shot at the playoffs. A great player. We're finally going to see her in the postseason. I just wonder if you could talk about what her mindset is going into this postseason.
Yeah, it's been fun to hear that she's reached out to some NBA players. She's not had this experience before, and so for her to be reaching out to several of her friends and other ball players that have experienced the playoffs, to understand what it's going to be like and what she can do, and that goes into the leadership also of what Kelsey has grown into a lot, that I'm really proud of her for with this year. She's done a lot more talking, she's done a lot more just communicating with her teammates, with her experiences. Just for her to have this experience. Kelsey is a huge part of our success, huge. And she's deserved every minute of how she's been playing. She's put in the work. She's just an unbelievable professional. But for her to have this experience, and she is the one I hear all the time, we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied. And that is so, when Kelsey Mitchell's not satisfied and she gets everybody else bought in, like we want to get to these playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs. And as long as they have that about them and that they're not satisfied, I think we're going to give, we'll do what we can. And I think the series with Connecticut will be a good one.
Got Matt, then we'll finish up with Tony.
Yeah, Kristy, players like Kristy, Grace, Victoria, just the players that fueled the fourth quarter comeback, they haven't really played that many minutes in this back half. So for, I guess, the so-called gray team, what have you seen from them every day that stuck out to maybe the casual viewer wouldn't expect a fourth quarter like that, but for you, it's not surprising?
Yeah, I'd said earlier, we've got a group of players. We've got 12 players who are all real, competitors. And that is one thing that we do in our practices is we try to make just about every drill as competitive as we can. Those guys compete every day with the blue team. If we're doing a shooting drill, it gets real serious. And if you don't have the score right, it can get ugly at times. And they just, that's just what they did tonight, though. They went in and did exactly what they've done. They come in, they get ready. Like you said, they haven't got the minutes, but these guys don't miss a workout. If there's we do low minute workouts. They play pickup with our dream team guys. They were ready for this moment because of the work that our coaches have helped them put in, and they're willing to go get those workouts in for these moments. And I think it really paid off for them tonight.
Tony, last one.
Yeah, Kristy, Connecticut in the finals 2 years ago. They have so much playoff experience on that roster, top to bottom. How do you see that being a factor in the series, and how do you overcome that? Because you've talked about how little experience your starters have.
Yeah, we were to start the fourth, I told our team we try to get 1% better every day, and we had not done that tonight. We had not done on the defensive end what we needed to do. We were putting up the points. So if we were playing Connecticut tonight and the way they are going to play with their experience, it would not have been a good night for us. It was not. We would not have an opportunity to win that game. So, kind of talked about that. But, we're a different team than we were to start this season. We have some really in-game experiences where we've come back. We've won overtime games. We're ready and prepared for Sunday. We just have to make sure we handle. Those guys can play some hella defense. And we've just got to be ready for they're going to make everything hard, every pass, every cut. They're not going to let us just move freely. We've just got to make sure that we respond to that physicality.
Yeah, it was cool. It's always exciting when you go out there and do well. But it was just awesome to see my teammates out there and do well, like B and Grace and people that haven't had much opportunity this season, and just to go out there and show us what they can do.
Christine.
Yeah, Christy, congrats. And here you guys go into the playoffs, right? A young team, you've seen a lot. You got an Olympic bronze medal this year. It's quite a year for you. And could you describe what it's like for a young team to be, with what you've got, the energy, the great play since the Olympic break, what you can harness and put into it now going against a team, obviously Connecticut, that's excellent, that you know quite well?
Yeah, it's almost like opposites. Connecticut have been together for so long. Well, their core group have. And we're so young and haven't been together long at all. So there is a difference in that, but I think we're just ready to go. Like we have so much talent, and everyone can see that. But yeah, we're just ready to give it our first shot, and we're so ready to go over there and give them our best.
Go back row on the left.
You all were locked into the 6th seed. Would you want to play the Indiana Fever in the playoffs?
I don't think so. I think we're very capable of upsets. So I don't think I would. No.
Anybody else got anything in the room?
I'll ask about the crowd question. Largest crowd ever in WNBA history. What does that mean to you? Obviously, you've played before a lot of big crowds, but
Tonight
is the all-time record.
Jeez.
What does that mean to you?
We've been breaking records all year. It's amazing the movement that's happening and the shift in how popular this sport is becoming, and it's so exciting to be a part of. And just to have young women and boys wearing jerseys that are ours is just really special. So hopefully we can keep this momentum going for years and years.
Oh yeah, I think it was great. Resting players is going to be super important going into the playoffs, because once it's here, it's here. And I think it just gave our bench, it gave y'all the opportunity to see our bench and see how much depth we have, see how powerful we are. Everybody came in and impacted the game. Like, they brought us back from like a 15, 14-point lead, probably more than that. So it just shows the grit. It shows how much we all want to win.
And then officially you guys are playing Connecticut in the first round. Just what's your initial reaction to that?
I think it'll be good for us. Of course, it's going to be a challenge, but it's not a challenge we haven't seen yet. And I just feel like, I feel like we're ready.
Anybody else in the room?
How you doing tonight?
Okay.
I just wanted to talk about and ask you how you feel about the way your team was able to get going in the second half of the season and really, make that push for the playoffs, and what that says about your team as a whole.
It just shows how resilient we are. That's something that we preach, is resilience, togetherness. So, no matter how bad our season was going, we always stuck together and we always just pulled for each other. So now we're getting a great result at the end of it, and hopefully we can just keep pushing towards the playoffs.
Okay, go ahead.
One last one, sorry. Can you talk about, being able to see some of these other players that may not get as much time to play and, see them almost get y'all back and win this game tonight?
It was fun. It just shows, how much we just love each other and pull for each other. We're always just celebrating each other. So it was a good feeling for all of us. We didn't come out with the win, but it felt like a win.
Christine?
Yeah, NaLyssa, congrats on a great season. Now the playoffs. There's something about a young team. We could even watch you guys on the bench there, cheering and just going crazy, right? And hoping that you guys might pull it out. Could you talk a little bit about that, the energy of a young team, obviously a rookie point guard, and now what that means moving into a playoff series where you've got to upset, obviously, a good team?
I feel like that's the one strength we have is just being young. You know, we don't have a lot of experience, but we still play hard. You know, every day we show up, we play hard. You know, it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to come out and play hard. We're going to run the floor hard because we are young. We got young legs, so we use it to our benefit and just run, get out in transition, and beat people where they lack.
We got one more here in the front row.
All right, NaLyssa, again, great to meet you. Kelsey Cornelson with Fox Sports Radio. We just had the largest WNBA crowd ever, and you were part of that game. So just want to talk to you about, I know the Fever have had large crowds following all season, but what did it mean to be part of history tonight as you guys get ready to head into the playoffs?
It's huge. You know, just this is what we've been hoping for forever. So, you know, it's fun to play in front of these games. You know, like you never get used to it. Just always showing up and playing in front of sold out crowds. And I mean, shout out Caitlin. Shout out Caitlin. We appreciate her for this.